as well. Monday highs will be cooler in the upper 80s. With Omaha's most accurate weather team, I'm 6 News meteorologist Peter Sherwood on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Schrock Innovations presents the Midwest's #1 independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion, Nebraska, as well as nationwide, if you will, on the Schrock desk at SchrockInnovations.com. 866-496-8772. That's the number to join us on the program this morning. Welcome aboard all the new listeners to the program. We appreciate it. Things are going very well there, and we love our new family in Des Moines. Look, going well. Everybody's getting along. It's like Christmas time. Everybody's, the new in-laws are here, and everybody's meeting, and there's that one catty sister in the corner, but what can you do? Every family's got one of those, the crazy aunt, whatever. But for the most part, everyone's having a good time. 866-496-8772. You can also join the show live on Facebook, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, where for some, unbeknown to me, I don't know, people want to watch the show. They want to watch me talk. So you can watch me talk. Oh, yeah, it's bad. Yesterday, I was at the grocery store. I was at Hy-Vee, and I was going down the aisle, and they already have Halloween candy out. And I'm like, wow, that's early. And I walked by it. And last year I was pretty good. I was a pretty, controlled diet last year. I was controlling what I was eating a little bit better and put on a few pounds since then. But I'm walking down the aisle at Hy-Vee, and there's this ginormous bag. And, they have all the ones, they have the bag of chocolate that has like the Mounds and the Kit Kat and everything in it. They have one over here that's got, Whoppers in it. And then I'm just like, come on, where's the bag that just has the good stuff? People want the pumpkins. Give me the peanut butter pumpkins, and give me the chocolate stuff. I don't need all the almonds or the coconut. If you're a coconut lover, we could not live together. It would not work. So I'm walking down the aisle, and here's this bag. It's only Kit Kats and peanut butter cups. There are 90 snack size servings in the bag. Now, I don't know if that means one is a snack, or if you eat half the bag, is that a snack? I don't know. But there's 90 of them in the bag. How much is the bag? $30 for a bag of chocolate candy. And I'm just like, that's ridiculous. Why would you spend $30 on this and then give it away to small children? This is stupid. No, so I could have done the math. I thought about doing the math. Like, should I buy like the 6-pack peanut butter pumpkins? Do you get more chocolate and peanut butter for your money there per ounce than you do with the bags? But my daughter was with me, and we were going through the store. She had the little green cart she was pushing and ramming it into old lady's ankles, doing the things that little kids do. And so I'm like, I better just get out of here. So I just grabbed the $30 bag of candy, put it in the cart, went to the checkout lane. So my wife sent me to get like a gallon of milk and then a little piece of dry ice for my son's birthday party to make his Fortnite chest, froth with foam or whatever. And I left with like 30. It was like my total was like $36. Yeah, $30 in chocolate and then like $6 and everything else. Why am I telling the story today? Interesting stuff. I've been walking around and noticing that the prices of things are higher than they used to be, right? Now I'm going to start to sound like an old man here. I really am. But like, I remember in the 90s, which was like 30 years ago, gosh, that makes me sad to say. But in the 90s, gas was about $1 a gallon. So it's about 3 times more expensive now than it used to be, right? And so you think that's 30 years ago. So you figure it's going to go up. Prices are going to go up 100% every 10 years is what we've seen in the past. And what has been a very low inflation environment. And here's the Fed wants to pump inflation and do it. And this isn't a financial show, guys, but I've been thinking about this. Like, oh my gosh, the price of everything is going up except for the price of technology. Every year, if you do the math on what you get in the bag, the price per gigahertz or per megahertz or per megabyte or whatever you want to dice it down for your computer, the prices stay relatively the same. We haven't raised the prices of our modular computers or solid state laptops in years. But when you look at what you get for the money, the computers are now 2x, 3x, even 5 times faster than they were just a couple years ago. So you continuously get more and more and more technology for your money. Your phones get faster and faster and faster. Your tablets get better and better and better, but the price stays relatively the same. So we have some interesting stories today. I'm going to talk to you about an interesting trend in computers. We've all heard the PC is dead. The PC is dead, right? No one's buying computers anymore, apparently, because nobody wants a desktop and the laptop is dying. Everybody must be going to like phones and tablets, right? That's got to be what's happening here. Well, the PC was dead, apparently, and now it's coming back to life. And so we're going to find out exactly what's going on here, that actually PC sales in this year are up after years of decline. And then if you say, well, wow, that's crazy, and people must be using their desktops more. Well, PC users are using their computers more. Mac users apparently haven't really found a reason to buy new Macs. So Mac sales are actually crashing. And Apple doesn't seem to care because they're not really a computer company anymore. In fact, Apple literally removed the word computer from their name. They used to be the Apple Computer Company, but then with the iPhone and the iPod and everything else, they become a media company. They're selling music and songs and movies and things like that. So they actually dropped the word computer from their name. They changed their name to just Apple. It's just Apple now. And then I think if we didn't talk about it last week, I'm going to mention it again later in the show today, the debacle around the latest MacBook Pro that's come out. It's terrible. It's actually slower than the MacBook that was out, the previous MacBook Pro. Even though it has better specifications, it's actually a slower computer. How in the world does that happen? So we got a lot of stuff to cover today on the show, guys. Also, if we get time to do it, I wear a Galaxy smartwatch, Galaxy Gear 3. Oh, look, the time for the radio show to start. It's reminding me, just in case I forget to show up. There's a new Galaxy smartwatch coming out. So if you're a smartwatch user, we're going to talk about the latest smartwatch coming out as well. Now, I'm going to try to get to all this stuff, guys, and I'm going to try to get to your calls too, 866-496-8772. In fact, we'll even bribe you to call. If you give us a call, you will sorry, I was reading the comments here, Thomas. I take issue with that. But if you call into the show, we'll bribe you with a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate that we'll send out to you on Monday here. Christine will get that right out to you. So one lucky person at the end of the show will draw the winner. You get $25 at Schrock. You can use it for anything you want. 866-496-8772. And as you can tell, you can also comment at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. I usually don't try to type there while I'm talking. I've tried that before. It doesn't end well. I start to say what I'm typing and type what I'm saying, and it's just a mess. So I usually hit that during the break, and I scroll up and take a look at all the comments and then reply to them then. Thomas is writing on there right now that Moore's Law is going to break down here soon. For those of you who don't know what Moore's Law is, Moore was a scientist that worked for Intel way back in the day, and he said that the price of technology, per gigahertz, basically, the speed and the capability of technology will double every 18 months. So in other words, computers will be twice as fast as they were every 18 months, and the price per gigahertz or per unit of measure will drop by 50%. So in other words, that's why technology continues to stay the same price as it gets better, because people continue to make better and better technology. And in one extent, people have been saying Moore's Law is going to die here soon for a long time, because we've reached the limit of what we can do with the materials we have. Processors are down to 14 nanometers now. 14 nanometers. You're getting to the point where you can't split the atoms down any closer, or you end up like, boom, It's like, we didn't mean to actually split the atom. That's bad. So we're getting to the point where things are getting pretty small and pretty delicate. You're seeing that with your laptops and your computers now. You notice that, I have customers that come in that are replacing like an old Windows 7 laptop that they've had for years. And they're shocked when they come in and they look at the computers on the table and they say, well, which one should I get? And I tell them, don't get this one, because this is designed to last 18 months. In fact, they're all designed to last 18 months, but this one in particular is designed to be obsolete before the rest. So even if it lasts longer than 18 months, it's good. You're going to have to replace it because it's going to run out of juice. And they're shocked. They're like, they think that's stupid. Why would anyone do that? Let's slow the roll and think about this for a second. How much money did Toshiba or HP, who was a big Windows 7 laptop? Who was big in laptops when Windows 7 came out? Toshiba was big. Gateway was big. Dell, of course, was big. HP, not so much. HP was kind of up and coming at that point. They were still buying Compaq and doing weird things like that at the time. So yeah, people come in with these old computers. Acers were popular because they were really cheap, and The hardware in the Acers didn't last very long. Don't confuse Acer with Asus. We recommend the Asus computers, or the laptops anyway, not the Acer computers. I said that to somebody in the shop the other day in the Papillion Service Center, and they're like, I can't believe you recommend that Acer garbage. I'm like, good eye that you've identified it as garbage. That's amazing, but we don't recommend those. Those are bad. So as this technology becomes more and more expensive, and Moore's law says it's going to, or less and less expensive, I should say, and Moore's law is coming along saying every 18 months it's going to get better. Now they're designing computers to die in 18 months. So then when you replace the computer, you get the bigger, badder, faster computer. You pay about the same price as you paid before. It's led some people to say, why do I even take care of my computer? Why do I bother to secure it? Why do I bother to maintain it? Because I'm just going to throw it away in 18 months. Now, in Nebraska and Iowa, we don't typically think that way. You know, we tend to be a little more frugal. We tend to take care of things a little better. So even the computers that only last 18 months at Schrock, especially when we have solid state laptops. So we take out the solid state hard, or the rotating disk mechanical hard drives, and replace them with solid state hard drives. So the computer runs much faster than it would normally. So we do some steps to make the laptops even faster before they go out the door, which means they last a little bit longer, which is good. But even with all the magic that we can do, some of these laptops we can't do anything with anymore. For example, we've got a customer that emailed me yesterday, and he wrote, Thor, I need your opinion on something. I just bought this HP laptop. It's got 4 gigs of RAM, which 4 years ago was exactly what you needed. I mean, that was perfect. Now that's entry level budget. I mean, that you really don't want to stay with 4 gigs of RAM if you can help it. But all of the entry level computers come with 4 gigs of RAM. Now, the processor is like just a dual core thing. And the hard drive is only 30 gigabytes. Now, to give you an idea, the mechanical hard drives that you get in laptops are usually 1,000 gigabytes. Solid state hard drives the smallest ones that we would sell start at about 120 gigabytes. Anything smaller than that, Windows takes up 16 gigabytes of space by itself. If you have an old iPad, you know what I'm talking about. The old 16 gig iPad, you can't even load the newest version of OS X on there because, not OS X, iOS. You can't install iOS on it because it doesn't have enough storage. It's too big. The operating system is too big to fit on the tablet. So this guy's telling me, Thor, I want to replace the solid state with something bigger and upgrade the memory, because this thing is hardly usable, and I'm just regretting buying it. My reply was, please send me the model number of the unit so that we can look it up for you just to be sure. But unfortunately, most of the stuff that's a budget entry level computer that you got. Most of that stuff is now chip on board. Now, this is something you're going to hear more and more and more as we talk about computers and the evolution. Why are they getting cheaper and cheaper while the technology gets better? The methods of manufacturing are changing. We've hit the limit of what we can do with the materials. So now they're combining the materials in different ways. We've seen this with smartphones. We've hit the limit of what we can do with screens. So we offer bigger screens. We offer curved edges on the screens. Samsung just patented a folding screen, for heaven's sake. Literally, you can fold the thing up and put it in your pocket like a map. Does it get those annoying creases in the middle? Will it collect dust in the crease? I don't know. But, those are things we'll deal with later. So as we hit the limit of what we can do with the materials, the way we do things is different. So chip on board, basically in a tablet, if you have an iPad or you have a Samsung Galaxy tablet or a Schrock modular tablet, those are all chip on board, which means the processor, the memory, the storage, everything is all together on one circuit board. If the storage chips fail, you throw away the whole circuit board. If the memory chips fail, you throw away the whole circuit board. If the processor fails, you throw away the whole circuit board. If you drop it and crack the screen, well, you may as well throw away the whole circuit board. So the problem we have now is the technology has become so much cheaper to buy, but it's also become so much more difficult to repair. That's why people are upgrading every 18 months. Think back to your computers. Now, some of you are going to tell me you've never had a problem in years and years and years. Your technology's always worked fine. You've never had a bad hard drive. You've never had memory that's failed. You've never had a power supply that's failed. You've never had any of these things. These are common computer ailments that happen every day in our service centers that we fix every day. I shouldn't say they happen every day. Bring your computer in where it could have any assortment of absolutely terrible failures. No, I mean, when people have problems, they bring us sick computers. That's what we do. We fix computers. So when these computers come in, they have all these failures. We fix them up and send them back out the door. But when they're chip on board, the fix is replacing the whole board. The cost of the board exceeds the cost after labor of a whole new computer. So what do you do? What do you do? Well, unfortunately, you usually buy a new computer. So I had to reply back to this gentleman and say, you know, everything is probably chip on board. That 30 gig hard drive, it's probably 32 gigabytes actually, which is a common chip on board amount of memory for a tablet PC. The memory, 4 gigs, that is a common amount of memory for a higher end tablet board. So basically what you've got is something that looks like a laptop, but it's actually a tablet. Unfortunately, it's all chip on board. There's nothing you can do about it. There's no upgrading it. Send me the model. I'll double check. You know, could be wrong, but look at HP's desktops now. If you go out to the store, to the big box store, and you buy yourself an HP desktop, you're buying a giant box of air. No joke, a huge box of air. Inside, there's one tiny little circuit board. If you can see my fingers on the camera, that's how big the circuit board is. The whole motherboard, everything. It has all the memory, it has one memory slot if it has removable RAM at all. It has one slot, put the memory in. The processor is soldered down to the board. You can't change it. You can't replace it. The cooling system is actually glued to the top of the processor so that if you want to replace it, you literally, like, we have a kind of a joke in the shop. We have a crowbar and there's a piece of blue tape on it that says hard reset. It's for like popping apart recycles to get people's hard drives out really quick so we don't have to unscrew stuff because, you know, we're lazy. And so, but the hard reset tool, it's kind of like that. Somebody get me the PL400. I have to glue down a fan. You know, come on. What is this? Is this Menards? You know, what are we doing here? So anyway, the challenge that we have at Schrock is making sure that we build you technology that can be repaired, that can be maintained, that's going to last your family 6 to 10 years, as opposed to what you get at the box store that lasts 18, maybe 24 months in the frugal Midwest. That's the difference at Schrock. So in a nutshell, I have a lot of stories today about computers and PCs. I want to frame this up. You know, when you're going to the computer store to buy a computer, or when you're going to the grocery store or whatever store the computer store happens to be in now to buy a computer, and you're walking down the aisle, you're going to see the $30 bag of chocolate, and it's going to look delicious. And let me tell you, you can take that bag of chocolate home and eat half of it. I can personally, I can guarantee you it's possible. I don't know why, but yes, I can. There's half at home for today. Save half for Sunday. So when you go to the computer store, you're going to see the $30 bag of chocolate, and it's going to look really tempting, and you're going to want to pick it up off the shelf. But just like Thor, you're going to think of me now, and you're going to say, just like Thor, when you eat half the bag of chocolate in one sitting, it didn't feel very pleasant afterwards. And later on, when I eat the other half, probably this afternoon, I'm going to say, I'm never buying another $30 bag of chocolate again, because if I do it again, I'm not going to fit on the webcam for the radio show anymore. I'm just going to become this ginormous blob of a man. So you're going to realize that your life is not, your quality of life is lower buying the $30 bag of chocolate than it would be enjoying a snack from time to time, or, you know, doing it right the first time in the case of a computer, and buying that mid-range computer that's just like $100 more expensive so that you can get the upgradability. 866-496-8772. Got to take our first break of the program. Roger, stay with us on the line. Your call is coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations repair technicians also make house calls. Make an appointment and let us bring our award-winning computer support right to your home or business. Schrock Innovations has spent nearly 2 decades working to make your technology life easier, and the all-new SchrockInnovations.com is no exception. Now you can order new modular computers and solid-state laptops directly from our website, secure your computer with our virus-free guaranteed Symantec endpoint software, find innovative new technologies like our modular storage devices, and get free help and tips. Take a look at the special section to find sales on one-of-a-kind items, display models, refurbished units, and our latest special offers. Swing by the Compute This page to watch TV segments and archived radio shows, or even get one-on-one help through the Schrock Desk. As always, we respect your privacy, so we secure our website with the latest encryption technology and only the most secure payment methods. You can pick up your purchases at any of our 3 service centers or have them shipped directly to your door. The new SchrockInnovations.com makes technology simple. It's what we do. Compute This Pro Tip 423. Everyone knows you need an antivirus and firewall program for your computer, but which one is the best? Should you use the free ones, pay for a commercial product, or maybe even the free stuff your internet service provider gives you? The absolute worst thing you can do is to install nothing. Windows 10 comes with Windows Defender, but Microsoft never intended it to be your primary antivirus product. Free antivirus like AVG or Avast are more effective than Windows Defender, but Consumer Reports ranks the free antivirus products in the middle of the pack when compared to their commercial competitors. As for the free software from your internet provider, forget about it. It's designed to protect their network, not your computer. There are two products that trade the crown for best antivirus software year after year. Schrock recommends Symantec products like Endpoint, but the Russian-made Kaspersky antivirus program also does an outstanding job. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
All righty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name is still Thor Schrock, even though I ate half a bag of chocolate. There's just more of me to love. 866-496-8772. Those are the numbers to join us on the program if you have a question about your computer. There is no such thing as a silly question. If you have a question about your computer, I guarantee you that other people listening have the same question. This is just like when you were back in school and other kids are just too chicken to raise their hand. But if you raise your hand, ask a question, make a comment, participate in the show, because I can talk the whole hour away. Nobody wants to hear that. I want to hear your problems so I can help you solve them and give everybody some value and some benefit. We'll even put you in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. And that's exactly what Roger's done. Roger, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This today?
Yeah, hi, Thor. I have a couple of your Generation 2 Android tablets.
Yes, sir.
And I've always used the Firefox app as my browser. And recently, whenever I try to open it, it just immediately a sign comes up and says, unfortunately, Firefox has stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried uninstalling it and reinstalling it to the same effect. I've tried Edge. It won't run Edge. I get the same message on Edge. I tried the Google Chrome, and I don't get a message, but as soon as I open the Google Chrome app, it just disappears. It goes off of the screen.
And this is an Android tablet you're using?
Yes, it's one of your Androids. Actually, I have two of them, and they're both doing the same thing. And,
okay.
Just until recently, they've worked just fine.
Gotcha. So, well, first off, the solution to get the tablets to work here is inside the browser or inside the tablet. There's a modified Chrome browser that the tablet came with, and it's just called Internet. So if you go into your apps, there'll be a globe there just called Internet. And if
it says browser.
Yeah, browser. There you go. And that one probably works just fine.
Yes, it does work.
Now, here's the situation. This is one of the reasons why we stopped selling Android tablets, because Google changed the rules on us. What happens here, the Android tablets that we made a couple years ago, they are amazing tablets. They're dual-core tablets. They've got all the RAM. They've got all the chip-on-boardness you can look at. And they still run really fast. The problem is you can't update the version of Android on them. So that was, so you have the old version of Android, which is about 2 versions behind. It's not like you're, a world behind here. You're just a couple of revisions behind. But what happened is Google, and we're going to talk about Microsoft doing something similar in the show. Google said, gee whiz, it sure is hard to maintain a secure environment for 5 different versions of the Android operating system all at the same time. It's very expensive, especially when we're giving it away for free. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, if you're not running the most current version of Android, or one version behind that, the Play Store is not going to support your tablet anymore. So your apps that you downloaded aren't going to work anymore. You're not going to be able to run the Dish app. We've had a lot of people complain about that the Dish app stopped working for the Dish TV network. That won't work anymore. Your Chrome is going to stop working because Google makes Chrome. Firefox will be, I think it's compatible for 3 revisions because they're just nice. But then after that starts disappearing. And over time, you're going to see other apps literally just stop working on the tablet or disappearing entirely because it can't be updated to the newest version of Android. Now, when we sold the tablets, they were modular because it didn't matter what version of Android you ran. Your old apps would, as long as it was kind of like if you went to the store and bought an old version of, What's a fun program that everyone, Oregon Trail, right? You remember that from school? If you went out and bought a copy of Oregon Trail for your computer could play Oregon Trail. You can still go out and get an Apple IIe somewhere, put Oregon Trail floppy disk in it, and I mean like the floppy, put that in there, and you could play Oregon Trail. And it worked fine. Now the world doesn't work that way anymore. And this is one of the biggest changes in technology that people are having trouble coming to grips with, is there is no such thing as a fire and forget stable standalone system that doesn't require internet anymore. I've had customers come to me looking for those. They literally do not exist anymore. You can't do it. And so the problem now is that we don't even sell the Android tablets anymore, because I'm not going to sell a product at my shop. But everything we do is to make things last more than 18 to 24 months for people. I'm not going to sell a tablet that is restricted to its demise within 18 to 24 months. It doesn't make any sense. Now, we still sell the Windows modular tablets. The Windows tablets are different because you can actually, those upgrade just like Windows 10. They keep upgrading. So they're just like a Windows 10 computer. They're going to last a lot longer. But unfortunately, this is the same problem that a lot of people that have old Android tablets have. I had a customer come into the Lincoln Service Center this week with an old Fire, a Kindle Fire. And they were like, why can't I get apps on it anymore? I had a retirement community bring a tablet in and say, we used to use this to read the Bible, but suddenly the Bible disappeared. Like, no, it's not the rapture. It's that the Bible app is no longer supported because they didn't make a version that runs on this because the Google Play Store doesn't work. So unfortunately, with the Android tablets, unless if you want to move beyond that base set of apps that came with them, which everybody wants to do, you're not going to be able to do that if it's more than 18 to 24 months old. And people are starting to realize that when you buy a tablet, it is not like a computer. It is different. They don't last forever. They're not the same as a computer where you can upgrade it and change it and reconfigure it. You get what you get, you got what you got, and it'll work until it doesn't. And when it doesn't, you're going to throw it away.
I see.
And that's unfortunately how the Android tablets are going. We have tried everything we could do. We even went back to the manufacturer, which was really hard because the manufacturer for the circuit boards, the company that made the circuit boards, was of course in China. So we go back to the manufacturer, and the salespeople all speak English, and the engineers all speak Mandarin. So we can't
that's nice.
Yeah, we can't talk to the engineers, so we have to explain our problem to the salesperson, who then goes back to the engineers and tries to explain, Schrock
Translate it to them.
Yeah, Schrock wants to root the tablet so they can install the latest version of Android, needs a driver set and credentials to get past the amazingly wonderful Intel security that was such a huge feature on these. But now that we're trying to crack it, we can't even crack it. So how do we get through it? And then they tell her exactly how to do it, and they give her like diagrams to do it, and we're putting the diagrams through Google Translate so we can read the Mandarin, and it doesn't work. And the engineers are like, those stupid Americans can't figure anything out, and we're like, these stupid Chinese people can't explain anything in English. So let
me ask you this:
22.
Is the browser that came with the tablet, is that safe to use that? Or I know I tried to download a file the other day and it was unsuccessful, and I've never had any problems downloading files from Firefox.
Right, and this is the challenge. Whenever you have a piece of technology that's not meeting current security requirements, that's why Google's pulling support, is the tablet is not meeting current security requirements.
Okay.
It is technically not a safe device to use for anything. I wouldn't do my bill pay on it. I wouldn't do online banking on it. If you're talking about, can I go on the internet and play solitaire? Sure, it's going to be fine. But you check your email on it. Sure, but I wouldn't do anything on that would remotely compromise anything that's important to you.
Okay, well, that's good to know then. Now, you said you guys still do sell this tablet in the Windows version.
We do.
Windows 10. Okay, and if I did something like that, does that require the endpoint and secure updater and all that stuff like a regular computer does?
It does. It's exactly like a Windows 10 laptop. In fact, when you pair it with the keyboard case, it even looks like a laptop. Like an HP. But basically, the nice thing about it is if you have Android apps that you love to run, you can actually run an Android emulator on the Windows tablet that is kind of like a tablet within a tablet that allows you to have that Android experience as well. Thanks for the call, Roger. I appreciate it. I got a hard break, got to roll. When we come back, Cheryl, your call is coming up next on Compute This.
Update all of your third-party apps on your computer with Secure Updater. It keeps all your apps running smoothly and helps block viruses. Download it for free today at secureupdater.com. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. But why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all. So we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the data recovery lab. Starting at only $499, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. Compute this pro tip number 753. Have you ever wondered how the bad guys always seem to find a way into your computer? Gone are the good old days of email worms and I love you viruses. Nobody wants to steal your data anymore, or in many cases, even your identity. Today's cyber criminals want to sell access to your computer or hold your data for ransom. The bad guys are exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities to break into systems that are supposed to be hack-proof. These vulnerabilities are always newly discovered, and the criminals have a brief time to exploit them before they get patched. Antivirus and firewalls do not prevent these attacks, but you can minimize your computer's exposure by installing all security patches as quickly as possible. The average computer needs 12 patches a week. That's not including the ones that are automatically delivered to your computer. Boost your cybersecurity by staying on top of it manually or use a patch installation program like Secure Updater to get your computer the patches it needs. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, has survived an attempted assassination by drone attack. He was in the midst of delivering a speech when interrupted by an explosion. Maduro, heard through a translator, is laying blame.
This was an attempt to kill me. Today they attempted to assassinate me. And I have no doubt that everything points to the right. The Venezuelan far right in alliance with the Colombian far right.
A group called Soldiers in T-Shirts is claiming responsibility. Already dealing with an active volcano, now Hawaii must also have to contend with a hurricane.
It's a Category 4 hurricane. It's Hector, and it's moving very close to Hawaii. Get ready. Tuesday into Wednesday, likely, best chances it's going to go just to the south of the Big Island. Obviously, the Big Island's been in the news because we still have the erupting volcano out there. But we're going to see some rain and some big swells going there. So just a heads up for that.
Fox meteorologist Rick Reichmuth, Fox News. We report, you decide.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
Sunday morning temperatures in the lower 70s will climb to 93 degrees by the afternoon under partly cloudy skies. Better chance for showers and storms will move in the overnight hours, and they will linger into Monday as well. Monday highs will be cooler in the upper 80s. With Omaha's most accurate weather team, I'm 6 News meteorologist Peter Sherwood on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back in. Halftime is over. I hope y'all got your potty breaks in because we got a lot to do in the second half. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Now, we have physical locations in Lincoln, Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska, and Papillion, Nebraska, where you can bring your computers in, get the help you need, get your technology stuff taken care of, everything you need to do. We can help you out with that. Now, you're hearing this show potentially for the first or second time in Des Moines, on stations in Des Moines right now and across all of Iowa, which we welcome all of our new Iowa listeners. We love you guys, love having you. The challenge, though, is we don't have a location in Des Moines. Now, here's the thing. This is a catch-22 for you because we are actively looking at expanding into Des Moines, adding service centers in Des Moines. You know, the Des Moines proper could support potentially 3 service centers of its own. Now, the question is, where do we put them? How many of them do we put, and how quickly do we put them there? You make the call. That's right. No, you get to decide because we're going to be watching metrics. We're going to be watching radio show listenership. We're going to be watching Facebook viewership, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. We're going to be watching website statistics. How many people from Iowa and particularly the Des Moines area are hitting the website and coming to us to look at the products and services that we offer. And then when we do sales and special offers of things that don't require a service center visit, like our upcoming surge protector sale that's coming up soon. Yeah, that's coming. When we do things like that, what kind of participation do we get from the Des Moines market? So these are all things we're going to be looking at in the next 6 to 8 months to decide what we do in the following 6 to 8 months. So you get to decide if you want the service center or not. All you have to do is be a part of the show. All you have to do is call in. All you have to do is ask questions. Compute This is recorded every Sunday morning from 7 to 8 a.m. It re-airs in several cities after that at different times. So basically, you're hearing it at a different time potentially. When you want to call into the program to be a part of the show, you can call 866-496-8772 between 7 and 8 a.m. on Sunday, and you'll get me right here. Now, if you call that number at other times, you're going to get my Lincoln Service Center, where you're like, I want to ask Thor a question. Like, Thor's not here right now. I'm listening to him right now. Don't you feed me that line of malarkey. No, I mean, I'm not actually there. You're calling the shop, but I do bounce around the shops all the time, so you'll catch me. I don't have an ivory tower or anything. I actually do work for a living. 866-496-8772. All right, so we've talked a little bit about computers at the start off the program here today. Now, one of the things about the Windows computer that's probably the most annoying thing is the patching. All the patching. There's always security patches. Patch Tuesday is the second Tuesday of every month. It's like Fat Tuesday. It's every month. The second Tuesday of every month, Microsoft released a huge amount of patches to fix your computer and keep things going. Those are the security patches that your computer is going to automatically download and install. And make it a habit to restart your computer on like the second Wednesday of every month, because that saves your computer from doing that restart in the middle of what you're doing. Because, you restart and it says, don't turn off your computer, please wait, blah, 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 blah. If you have one of our solid-state laptops or our modular computers, you wait a lot less than somebody that has a mechanical hard drive in their computer, because all that installing is a very hard drive intense activity. All of our computers have solid-state hard drives in them, so as a result, they get done a lot quicker. But for people with mechanical drives, sometimes you have to wait 10, 20, 30 minutes for those patches to install. You really don't want that to happen when you're in the middle of something. So second Wednesday of every month, kind of just restart your computer, let it go. We recommend at Schrock that you leave your computer on all the time. Not in sleep mode, not in hibernate mode, on, powered on. You can set the screen to go dark after a half hour, but when you leave your computer on all the time, what it allows the computer to do is download its updates. It allows your antivirus to get its updates and run its virus scans. It allows Windows to automatically defragment your hard drive, which, by the way, is turned off if you have a solid-state hard drive. Never defragment a solid-state hard drive. You just shorten the life. It doesn't improve the performance at all. This tip brought to you by the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. But all these things are things your computer wants to do during idle time. So if you turn off your computer when you're done using it, every time you're done using it, it forces your computer to do these things during active times. And as a result, you have a terrible experience. You're trying to log on and check your mail and pay your bills, and the thing just wants to do updates, and it's running slow, and it's scanning, and it's defragging. And why is it doing all this now? Because it's doing it in the only time it has. We get customers who call us about their Symantec endpoint. That's the antivirus that we recommend at Schrock, that we stand behind with a virus-free guarantee. And they say, I have a question mark on my endpoint. It's not working. Well, it's because your laptop was shut for a day. So it's freaking out. Windows is popping up saying you don't have antivirus because you're behind. You're a day behind. And that's how fast the viruses move now. That's why these patches have to come out so quickly every month. So there's actually such a thing as a Windows 10 patch expert. It is not me. I mean, I know a lot about Windows 10 patches. I've never branded myself as a Windows 10 patch expert. I don't have that on my business card. But there's a lady that does. And in a year of big malware outbreaks, one expert thinks Microsoft's faulty patches and speedy Windows 10 feature updates could be setting its users up for a dangerous situation. Susan, Patch Lady, literally, you should call her the Patch Lady. Remember when that used to mean you made quilts? When you got called a Patch Lady? That Susan, the Patch Lady Bradley, is a patching expert who manages a bunch of Windows PCs and servers in business. Okay. I manage a bunch of computers. Is that like I support a peck of computers? Or is it I support a bushel of computers? I mean, is that a technical term? A bunch, like a bunch of bananas? So she supports a bunch of computers, however many that is, which makes her a Windows 10 patch expert. I support a bunch of computers too. I got about 20,000 customers, guys. There's a lot of, and some of them have 2 or 3 computers each. Wow, that's a plethora. That's a cornucopia of computers. Am I a Windows 10 patch expert? She posted an open letter to Microsoft's CEO Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that was a heck of a title. His title is like 3 lines long. Pleading for them to urgently address the quality of recent Windows patches. Her opening letter was published, took shots at executives for putting people like her in the unenviable position of either installing patches that break machines or delaying patches and leaving them vulnerable to publicly known vulnerabilities. Quote, today, as Windows 10 turns 3 years old, I'm writing to you to ensure that you are aware of the dissatisfaction your customers have with the updates released for Windows desktops and services in recent months, wrote Bradley. The quality of updates released in the month of July in particular has placed customers in a quandary. Install updates and face issues with applications, or don't install updates and leave machines susceptible to attack. So there was a couple issues with the Windows 10 patches in July that caused certain applications in certain situations to not function properly. And if you happen to be one of the people that was nipped in that, because Microsoft only releases updates on Patch Tuesday, if they push out an update that gives you an issue with your computer, they're not going to fix it till the next Patch Tuesday, a month. So in that month, your choice is either don't use that app that isn't working, leave the patch installed, or just uninstall the patch and everything will work fine. But then, of course, they released the patch because of a security vulnerability. And so if you're a business user and you don't keep your computers patched and you have a breach, then all of a sudden you can become liable for that breach. So because you made a conscious decision to lower your security. So it is a rough position to be in. Now, with that said, I'll put Microsoft, from Microsoft's perspective, they had the option of patching this on Patch Tuesday with a patch that was known to create a few issues for a very small number of customers while also securing tens of millions of other customers. Or they could have waited a month to put the patch out and got it perfect and secured everybody, but left everybody vulnerable for that month. Now, here's the thing. I think Microsoft made the right decision. Patch as many people as possible with a patch that works for the majority of people. There are going to be some people who are negatively impacted by this patch. Unfortunately, it's a very small number. I mean, we're talking a few thousand people out of millions. I mean, there was a very small number of people that were negatively impacted by this patch. And as a result, people got better security. So those are the two sides of the coin. So here we have somebody criticizing Microsoft for their patching. Now, on the other hand, if we look at the next article in the stack here, oh, come on now. Windows 10, I was reading them all, so they're all scrolled down. Windows 10 buggy updates. Our patching is simple, regular, consistent, says Microsoft. Microsoft declined to comment on an expert's many complaints. This is the patch lady that was complaining about the quality of its recent patches and cadence of Windows 10 feature updates. But it has argued in a blog that it gives admins all the tools they need to test and provide feedback before its patches are released. Microsoft's John Wilcox, who helps promote why the organization's moving to Windows 10 service model, blah, 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 another three-line title there, at the behest of Windows Pros, offered an explanation of its monthly Windows 10 quality update service cadence and terminology. Okay, let's skip the technical jargon. Quote, with Windows 10, Microsoft has completely rewritten the Windows Update rulebook. For expert users and IT pros accustomed to having fine-grained control over the update process, these changes might seem wrenching and even draconian. So in other words, used to be back in the day, the IT guy could decide to install the patches or not install the patches. You see, if the computers work all the time, we have the same problem with corporate clients. When we do a good job and we make the computers work all the time, flawlessly, nothing but net, baby, they fire us. Because they're spending money on something they don't need, because they don't need us to make the computers run well, because the computers are running well. Oh, it's so frustrating. They fire us. Then 2 years later, they call us back and they're in dire need for support. So if the IT guy is doing his job right, it's almost like, why are we paying this guy? And on the other hand, if there are a series of patches that have to be reviewed every month to determine how they're going to impact the business's ongoing operation, which patches should be prioritized, which patches should be manually installed, then this guy has a job. So you could understand that there's some job saving going on here. So here's the thing. The bottom line, guys, is that patches are no fun for anybody, but they're a requirement. When we come back from the break, I've got an Internet of Things security alert from the FBI talking about how your lazy security practices are why the Russians are hacking our elections. It's your fault. That's the voters' fault. Yes. I bet you're deplorables. It's your fault. So that's why the Russians are hacking us, is because all of our stuff is insecure. So Microsoft is trying to make our stuff more secure, and people are complaining that it's inconvenient to be secure, which it is inconvenient to be secure. Now, here's the thing. The cadence of updates that they were talking about, we're going to hit this really quick before we go to break. Stay on the line, Cheryl and Gail. I know you're there. I'm going to grab your calls here next. The cadence of updates that they're talking about is the every 6-month release of a new version of Windows. These are big, huge feature releases. These are not security updates. The best thing, for those of you who've used Windows for a long time, this is almost like a service pack. Remember service packs from Windows 7, where it would be like all the updates compressed together? Except this feature update is literally a brand new version of Windows. It's like going from Windows 98 to Windows Millennium, or from Windows 7 to Windows 8 to Windows 10. It's a whole new version of Windows. Now, it just looks a lot like the old version of Windows. So people think of it more like an update than a whole new version of Windows, but it is. Which is why one of those products that we're going to be talking about a lot when it comes out here in October, there's a whole new feature update coming for Windows in October. And the sales of our Safe Upgrade product last time around are through the roof, because 20% of the people who install that feature update, you're required to install it. If you don't do it, it'll automatically happen to your computer. But 20% of the people that have that feature update have some kind of problem with it. Computer won't reboot. Things blow up. Things aren't nice. That's why we created Safe Upgrade, to help you control when the patch is installed, and to control it in the same way that this IT administrator guy would install it, so that your computer doesn't blow up, so you wonder why you even bought the Safe Upgrade, because everything works so well. That's what we try to do with our products at Schrock. So you're going to hear more about Safe Upgrade coming up in the coming months here. We have till October, so there's still a little bit of time. So probably mid this month to late this month, you'll hear us start talking about it and start offering it on the website, and then we'll go forward. So Des Moines listeners, be listening for Safe Upgrade. It's a product that you probably haven't heard of before, but you're going to love. 866-496-8772. Final break of the program. When we come back, Cheryl, Gail, your calls and camera recommendations coming up next on Compute This.
Now you can configure and purchase laptops, desktops, tablets, and more, all at the new SchrockInnovations.com. Check out our specials for one-of-a-kind discounts and deals. Every person listening to this broadcast has either experienced data loss or knows someone who has. When you think about it, you have a lot more data stored in many more places than you'd like to admit. Have you downloaded those videos from your phone, backed up the pictures on your iPad, or even tackled that sometimes daunting task of backing up your entire computer's hard drive? Most people just don't back up their stuff. And that's why Schrock Innovations has one of the most advanced data recovery centers in the Midwest. Equipped with the latest DDI data imaging devices, state-of-the-art custom recovery software, and Omaha's best data recovery technicians, Schrock Innovations has a 96.8% success rate when recovering data from damaged hard drives, flash drives, camera cards, and more. We all know we should back up our data, but if you are ever caught in a data loss nightmare, call the experts at Schrock Innovations to get your data back right where it belongs, safe and backed up on a stable hard drive. Compute This pro tip number 187. Recently, you may have received a phone call from someone claiming to be from Microsoft, or had a message pop up on your screen telling you that your computer was infected. Do not respond to these calls or messages. They're always a scam. Microsoft will never call you about your computer. Here's how the scam actually shakes out. You get the phone call that your computer's infected. The scammers hit you with some mumbo jumbo about an infected IP address. They'll ask your permission to connect and help you fix it. Once they're in your computer, they do a bunch of fake scans that detect a lot of problems that really aren't there. You see the scan results and figure your computer's in trouble. Next, the scammers will demand up to $400 to clean up the computer and set you up with a lifetime protection. Don't fall for the scam. Keep good security software installed, like Endpoint and Secure Updater, so when things like this do happen, you know you are covered. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
All righty, guys. Fourth quarter, final stretch. Nah, Maggie made me mash my M&Ms. My lips are going numb. It's been a long show, guys. So I got to get some callers in here. 866-496-8772. Cheryl, you're next up on the program. Thank you so much for being patient. How can I help you today on Compute This?
My granddaughters are going off to college, and I believe they have Apple computers at home.
Okay.
And then they each have a little handheld thing that does everything for them. And in 2011, I bought from you a desktop, and I'm wondering what kind of camera would I get so that I could see the girls when they're away from home.
Oh, like a webcam. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay, perfect. Because we were just talking about this during the break because I didn't know what you were going to ask me. So I looked up some of the most, the digital camera recommendations. I'm like, maybe she's thinking about buying a digital camera. So, and, there are certain other digital goddess shows out there that are paid for their recommendations. Everything they do, everything you hear on that program is a paid ad placement. We don't really do that here. So here's the thing. Like right now, you can watch the show live on Facebook at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. I am filming the show right now on an $89 Logitech HD webcam.
Okay.
So literally with webcams and for your computer, it's nice because it'll sit on top of your computer's monitor. That's where I have the camera placed on mine. I tried to use the laptop camera at first, but the quality wasn't good enough. It was the colors were, it was weird. Like remember I would always wear, what was it? It was, my shirt looked orange or something. My shirt, when I would wear a red shirt, it would look orange. It was bad. So, honestly, you can't really go wrong. Logitech makes really good webcams. I would stick with the Logitech brand. And you can get them as cheap as $39.99. And then there are higher end models, like the HD one that I have has stereo microphones, so that when I do the After Schrock show after the program and I use those microphones, it picks up my voice really well. But a basic webcam, $39.99 is all you need. I mean, they're so good now. Back in the day when you got that computer 11 years ago, webcams were hit and miss. And now the technology is so solid and so mature that you can hardly screw it up.
So it doesn't matter what type of computer they have compared to the type of computer I have.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, you can, like, for example, if you're going to be if you have a PC and they have an Apple computer, the easiest thing to do would probably be to install Skype on your computer. Skype is already pre-installed if you have Windows 10 because Microsoft bought them.
Okay.
So you've got Skype on both computers. You both get a Skype account. You set up your account, your email address, and a password. And then literally you can place a Skype call like you're placing a telephone call. You click on the person on the screen and it goes boop, 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 and then it connects you. They answer the call and you can see them through their webcam and they can see you and you guys can talk to each other in real time. It's the same technology that soldiers are using now when they're deployed. They can talk and see talk to their families. It wasn't that long ago. I think like the first Gulf War where that technology was like super space age military grade conferencing technology, and now it's every laptop has it built in. So something like that, if you had a laptop, you wouldn't even need to buy the webcam because it would be built right into the lid.
Okay, and do you sell these the webcam?
Oh yeah, we custom order things for customers all the time because it's getting hard to find stuff locally. Like people don't carry things anymore. So if you went to the box store, you might see like 2 webcams to choose from, and you're like, $150 one or like $19.99 one. I don't see the $39 or $49 or $59 one Thor was talking about. So basically that's, we would order that in for you. So if you give us a call in the service center, we're open Saturday from 10 to 8, Sunday from noon to 5. We're also open the rest of the days of the week, by the way. But you just give us a call, say, hey, I need to buy a webcam. We can do it right over the phone with you. Okay. And we'll figure out what webcam you need. We'll order it in. It takes a couple days to get here. And then once it arrives, we'll call you to let you know it's in.
Okay, and did you say it was called Logitech?
That's how you spell it. That's exactly how you would spell it if you were going to write it on paper, Logitech, but it's pronounced Logitech.
Okay, Logitech. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate the information.
Hey, no problem, Cheryl. Thank you for the call. We got you in the drawing as well for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate, which would come in really flippin' handy for Cheryl. 866-496-8772. Gail's next up. Gail, how can I help you on Compute This?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Excuse me, good morning. Sorry. I have a question. I had purchased a device. It's called a Fix Me Stick.
Oh, golly. Okay.
And
I'm going to hit you with your Fix Me Stick.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm calling about because it sounded wonderful. It says it removes, virus removal device, viruses, spyware, trojans, and other malware.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know if it's really something that I need, or obviously now sounds like I shouldn't have purchased it.
Oh, that's right. It's just the name is so funny. The Fix Me Stick. It sounds like something you whack a child with, like a bad behavior. Don't make me get my Fix-It stick. We fix all kinds of behavior problems with this stick. No, I mean, and you're right. It sounds really, really good. In fact, the first time we heard about this a couple of years ago in the shop, we literally were like, what in the world? That's got to be a scam. Come on now. A fix-it stick? Really? Like, whatever's wrong with your computer, just plug in this stick and it makes it right. So, like, yeah, it fixes your bad hard drive. Yeah, how? We're sitting here trying to figure out for all of our customers in Des Moines, the next time we have a maintenance checkup sale, we want to have an online option for the preventative maintenance checkup where we could do it over the internet rather than having you come in. Now, the problem here is, how do we do that over the internet when we have to blow out your computer, which is a physical activity? We have to test your power supply, which is a physical activity. We actually plug it into a tester and test it. How we can test the memory, but it doesn't test as well if it's running Windows. Then it has to be running Windows if we're connected. So we could do like a maintenance checkup and a maintenance checkup light, I guess. And then what do we do if we find something that's wrong? Like, sorry, well, we'll be there in 6 months. I mean, what's the plan there? So the Fix-It stick, first of all, the virus console that they offer you, this virus protection there's all kinds of places that we can go buy virus protection. We could go out and pay a company to give us their antivirus product. It's called white boxing. And then we wrap the Schrock name around it, and it becomes Schrock Innovations antivirus software. And then we offer it to you, and we talk about how great it is, and we basically leverage our marketing to give you an inferior product and make you feel good about it. That's what Apple's been doing for years. Oh God, I just ticked off every Apple listener. Oh, come on. You know that new MacBook Pro is a piece of garbage, right? I mean, it's a $5,000 piece of trash. It's worth slower than the last MacBook Pro. But I digress. I have a story that we're going to cover in the Schrock or the Aftershock about PC sales are slowing, but we didn't talk about why Mac sales or PC sales are climbing, but Mac sales are crashing. Now, the Fix-Me stick, or the Fix-Me stick, I love that. The Fix-It stick, it basically does a lot of maintenance stuff to your computer. It's not all bad, okay? But I would not trust the virus console at all. The virus console is white box junk that we wouldn't give to our worst enemy. But if you're talking about it's something that you can plug into the computer to do basic preventative maintenance, the stuff that you could do if you just knew the keyboard commands, the Fix-It stick isn't so bad. I would not rely on that to be my primary computer maintenance, though.
Okay.
As far as
because
how often?
I do have.
How often? Once a month,
go ahead.
maybe once every 6 months,
Right.
something like that.
Okay. Because I do have your secure updater. I do have your endpoint.
Okay.
And I've done your maintenance checkup. And it's not like I'm even on my computer that much at all either. So I don't know why I got suckered thinking, wow, this is
you're
a
all
great
right,
thing,
Gail.
But
You're okay, Gail. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. I got to bail. I got to draw a winner for the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate right quick. That winner, it's Gail. Congratulations, Gail. We'll see you again next Sunday for another edition of Compute This.
From the Millard Roofing Studios, we've got you covered. This is News Radio 1110 KFAB, Omaha, an iHeart radio station.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Jane Metzler. It could trigger a tsunami. This developing story, a major earthquake rocking Indonesia's Lombok Island. The U.S.